Welcome to another episode on Prophecy Trades. Today's video, we will just be doing a quick follow-up on some progress on 4 trades that were executed from last week. First things first, we have Euro GBP. We are actually out of this trade. We were taken out of the market based on a trailing stop that we put on a previous higher low. So before that even happened, we actually moved our stops to break even, making this a risk-free trade. Price rallied up, broke above this previous high, and then reached our minus 27 first take profit. We secured a majority of our profits here. We saw a heavy resistance on the higher time frame. And like I said, we ended up moving our stops to break even, and then later moving and trailing our stops to this region here. We actually were taken out of the market, and you can see that price is now printing and making a higher low, rallying up more to the upside and potentially reaching either this minus 27 level again, going to make a double top and reverse, or going to continue to the upside, hitting this take profit too. We are out of this trade. That is just sharing some knowledge of what might play out. But from with that, we are moving on to NZD CAD. So for NZD CAD, this was a risk-free trade as well. We ended up moving stops to break even. And actually, previous to moving our stops to break even, we actually were almost taken out of the market. We entered along this candle here. Price came up, and we actually had our stops just below this region. If you're looking to know and understand more of what actually happened and what played out, please click on the previous video for more detail, and that will give you a more insightful step-by-step breakdown of what happened and how close we were of actually being taken out of the market, but remaining true to our analysis, and it all played out. So price then rallied back up, came all the way through, and then price then quickly ramped up and hit our take profit one. We secured a majority of our lot size here, moving our stops to break even, and then we ended up later trailing our stops on Friday, which we then were actually taken out of the market. And I believe within like an hour or two later from doing so, price then aggressively rallied within a 60-minute candle, almost exhausting just near to that minus 61.8, which would have been our take profit 2, which is our final take profit. And then price then reversed, came back, and would have still then took us back out of the market anyways. So we have 2 successful trades. We have Euro GBP, and this trade is now completed. And then we have NZD CAD. This trade has now been completed. I'm sorry, NZD CAD, correct. And now we're moving on to Euro CAD. Euro CAD, we're actually still in this trade. We did see a little bit of an invalidation to our bias. Price was looking really nice. There was a market structure shift. We saw a bullish engulfing candle. Price is accelerating, printing to the bullish upside. And then we have a minor retracement, but then price then continued to have some slippage, break below the 50 EMA, and then slipped below the larger time frame trend line. This might just be a candle wick. As long as the body of the candle closed within the trend line, I'm thinking we are still going to be okay. You can see here a candle did close fully below on the 4-hour candle. So there was some risk there to be addressed, but we did then see a bullish engulfing candle for a correction, still printing in the upside. So we will be monitoring this trade for the rest of the day. Hopefully, if not no longer than Wednesday, to see where we are in the market. The intent for this trade, like I said, this is maybe a total of potentially almost a 1 to 9. But realistically, we're just looking to get in and out. I'm going to be targeting mainly this previous high, which is still roughly almost a 1 to 5. And I'll be taking a large portion of the lot size there, securing and moving my stops to break even. Once this take profit 2, if it does hit, I will be trailing my stops based on some dynamic support and resistance. In this case, it will be some dynamic support or some previous market structure. So there's that trade. And then we also have GBP odd. This trade's looking really nice. We are almost to our final take profit. It's still looking pretty confident that we might actually tap, hopefully within this trading session, depending, maybe if not before the New York Open tomorrow. There might be some consolidation as we are now approaching past that noon time, that central time, where it's a lot of volatility tends to fall off. So let me show you something here though. So what prompted me to get in this trade? We did see this, we had a trend line here. we saw price somewhat printing market structure to higher highs and higher lows. There was a market structure shift, and now confirming we are in a downtrend, making those lower lows and lower highs. And then I ended up drawing this trend line touching three different candle wicks and bodies, implementing and creating a valid support area. And you can see now that this trend line has now been converted over to a counter trend line. We have some price action, price breakout, bearish engulfing candle, price comes down, comes back, retests. And on the lower time frame, we do see price comes up, respects this counter trend line, acts as resistance because this price acted as support, then later resistant, and now price then collapsed to the downside, and we're targeting this minus 61.8. I also do have another two confluences here why I'm targeting the minus 61.8 on the hour or 4 hour time frame. I do see a very large engulfing candle. There's a lot of imbalance and inefficiency in the market, and this is the end of the fair value gap here. I see price filling this in, completing this, potentially respecting, and we also do see a variation of a order block as well. So we might, this is an unmitigated area. Price could then potentially come here, touch this, tap this area, this region, and act as support, and then come back to the upside. This could actually then play out to another opportunity for a buy entry, but I will definitely dive into that once price plays out the way it is. I also did see another strong confirmation. I did see a inverted head and shoulders, and I'm sorry, I apologize, a head and shoulders. So head and shoulders is from this low here, from this high here to this low here, which is now the completed left shoulder, creating the head, which is this tip here, all the way down, bringing it down to here. And then we bring it back up, creating that right shoulder. And then this is now the neckline in this region here. And then as you can see, price with head and shoulders, you can look this up on your local search engine. Price will then tend to go through, break the neckline, sometimes retest, and then collapse and meet that equal low in that region. So that's why we're in this trade, and it is currently a 1 to 7. A large portion of the trade was secured. So even at 50%, securing, that's about 2%, up 2 and some change, 2% ish. If this trade completes, we'll probably be securing somewhere around maybe that 4%, because it was a 1 to 7 and we secured a good portion at that minus 27 level. So this is still a really great setup. Looking to get out, like I said, hopefully before the New York session tomorrow. But if you're liking these videos and they are very helpful and insightful on reading the markets, catching that trader's edge, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.